Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 25th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you the major themes of this week, and then please stay with me. I'll dive deep to give you your detailed zodiac forecast for each of the 12 signs. Now this week's most glorious influence goes between Venus in Sagittarius and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, in the friendly sign of Aquarius. Now this combination could see some kind of gathering, a reunion, it may be some travel plans with a larger group of people, and all these things can provide a lot of uplift. It's also possible that somebody could enter your circle, or someone who's been a friend for some while start to creep up on your senses in terms of a romantic possibility. But Venus in the sign of Sagittarius is a truth seeker. Jupiter in Aquarius is thinking about the wider needs of people. So it would hardly be a surprise if the person that you were chatting to, either socially or perhaps even in terms of romance, was someone who's a bit different, a bit more unique. Certainly somebody who could be a bit of a free spirit. But if you are wanting something more devotional, the fact that Neptune, the planet of dreams, squares with Venus creates a little bit of uncertainty. That aspect can see us be tempted to put someone on a pedestal, and that's something we should try to avoid this week. However much the good vibes are there are some more cautionary energies that I need to tell you about. Not least, the Sun is challenged by the stern, restrictive energies of Saturn. Now Saturn is in the sector of the group, Aquarius, no longer in retrograde, which is to be celebrated, but the Sun is finding its way in the sign of Scorpio, which is very much to do with deep commitment and devotion. So if you're wanting that in a relationship and you get to know someone that you find very attractive, but for them it's more of a fleeting experience, that could be quite hurtful. So just be conscious of the reality of where you might be coming from in terms of your expectations, and where somebody else may also be coming from theirs. Also, Mars in the sign of relating, Libra, where it's afflicted, is in a square with Pluto. Now this is an aspect of force and drive and desire, but it's not one that's so much to do with gently talking things over. It's quite raw, it's quite visceral, it wants its reward, it's a desire-led planet, Mars, and therefore it's to do with instant gratification. So however much someone may be relating, their desire and ambition around that relationship or that situation can be quite unbridled. Just be aware that by the end of the week, Mars does move into the sign of Scorpio, which it governs, and will be there through to the second week of December. And that is going to be very helpful in a way, because being in its dignity will help it to strut its stuff much better than it has in the sign of Libra, where it's in detriment. So just be conscious of that. But of course, Mars in Scorpio brings that desire element of our nature even more strongly to the fore. But the quarter moon on Thursday in Leo suggests a little bit of jealousy could be washing around this week. It's not going to be a walk in the park week, but there is those glorious aspects. Neptune squaring Venus can still be very, very good as long as we keep one toe on terra firma. But that link between Venus and Jupiter is really, really beautiful. I think we just need to make sure that whatever our expectations are, we keep the reality very much to the forefront of our thinking, and that way we can make the most of this week. But please stay with me for your deep dive video. But if you are new to my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And remember, you can get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning by clicking on the link beneath this video and subscribing. Or if you'd like to get your year 2022 personal horoscope, the year is rushing up towards us. You can order it now, get the rest of this year free, plus 30% off and a character analysis. Please do see the link beneath this video. Hello Gemini, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 25th of October. The delightful link between Venus and Jupiter is just fantastic, particularly if you're someone who really enjoys being around folks who have a wider view of the world, perhaps really into travel, spirituality, other cultures. Those kind of relationships can really thrive. However, if there is another set of relationships in your world, perhaps more everyday ones, where it seems that it always falls to you to do the heavy lifting. You know, other people always feel that you're there to clear up after them in some way, you know, whether it is in a professional sense where people always come to you with the things they can't solve, or at home if you're carrying the domestic load too much. Those kind of things are really going to stick in your craw this week, and you may be tempted to push back, which would be entirely understandable. But then on the other hand, if there is somebody that you really like from a romantic viewpoint, as much as you could approach it with a fair degree of charm, personality and charisma, there's also the sheer raw desire that comes from the right angle between Mars and Pluto, which could see you really pushing forwards, perhaps outside of your own comfort zone, in order to try and make a connection with someone. It's one of those weeks where if we all try a bit too hard, it could be counterproductive. But sometimes if opportunities come up, we have to steel ourselves to have the courage to really see what's right for us and to go for it, even if other people don't understand what we're trying to do. So there's a potential for a bit of a quandary this week, but if someone is taking you for granted too much, I definitely think it's time for you to say no. And, you know, just be aware that if you try to be too productive, you try to do too much, be too virtuous, it could really tire you out. So narrow your focus and focus on your own needs as much as you can. Do the right thing by others, but don't just be the person that automatically takes on everyone else's bits and pieces. That's really what I feel you should push back against this week.